We're here for part 5 of rib rehab. The last mechanic we're going to look at in the series is the one that took me the longest to become aware of. The scapula, rib cage, and pelvis are part of one chain. So, what happens at the shoulder affects the rib cage, what happens at the rib cage affects the pelvis. So, rib injury on the right side, followed by a year of not doing targeted rehab, is a great recipe for getting a chain that's learned to work around itself. Here's what retaining it looks like. In the gym, I'm starting with a movement that I learned from someone who's dealing with the same issue as me. My wrists are resting on a foam roller and my arms are moving up as I inhale, down as I exhale. This sounds almost absurdly simple, but what it's actually doing is creating awareness through the scapular rib hip chain. As the arms rise, we're going to notice what's happening with the rib cage. Do you notice that your right side is lifting differently than your left? Is your rib cage flaring? Is your pelvis tilting? The foam roller under the wrists is changing the feedback, so you feel the contact point shift as the chain moves. Next, we're going to lie down on the back. I'm placing a Pilates ball between the knees, and this is for adductor engagement and pelvis stability, which we looked at in the previous reel. Both feet are pressing into the wall, and I'm pressing one palm into the floor. My scapula is going to move up and down, so protraction and retraction. I'm using load to get more feedback. I highly recommend using load, but you can try this without load as well. This is scapular motor control with a whole chain loaded. The feet on the wall, the ball between the knees, and the palm pressing into the floor, they're all creating a stable base so that the scapular movement is isolated and felt clearly. On the mat, we're going to try a lateral vinyasa in the Tadasana sequence. So on an inhale, my arms are raising, and on the exhale, I'm going to lean laterally. This is one of the foundational vinyasas in the complete book of Vinyasa Yoga by Srivatsa Ramaswamy. What we're doing with this movement in this context is as the arms rise on the inhale, the rib cage is expanding and the scapula moves, so the chain is activating. The lateral plane on the exhale is going to load the side body. So if you're working with a right rib injury and a left dominant compensation pattern, the lean to the right on the exhale is where you'll feel the restriction most clearly. In reel 2 of the series, we used Dvipada to train the rib cage as an anchor under asymmetric load. Now we're going to use it for sequential vertebral articulation, so the whole chain will move together rather than the rib cage holding still. So inhale up, exhale down, but we're doing this sequentially, so vertebra by vertebra rather than as one block. This is where the scapular rib pelvis connection is felt quite clearly. If the thoracic